Sunny and Hitch. Sunny had been overly busy learning how to fly with Zip lately, or at least that's how Hitch had been feeling about it. Duties such as rounding up stray bunnies and listening to Sprout's incessant ramblings hadn't been nearly as entertaining without Sunny by his side. He wasn't begrudging Sunny for enjoying time with her friends, and he definitely wasn't jealous at all.
No, definitely not.
And so he would continue to tell himself that. Hitch was lazily fiddling with the objects on his desk. Another mundane day, as he'd been expecting. At least that's what he thought, until Zip came bursting through the doors, the gust of air following her arrival scattering papers and documents all over. She cringed slightly as she landed by Hitch.
Sorry about that,
she said apologetically, and smiling awkwardly. Hitch sighed. Another mess for him to clean up later. Nothing unusual.
So what brings you here in such a rush?
He questioned the Pegasus pony.
Well, Sunny told me I really shouldn't interrupt your work, but you absolutely have to see what she's been learning with me.
Zip couldn't keep the smile off of her face as she dragged the sheriff away from his desk and off into the hills nearby.
Now duck down and stay quiet,
she whispered harshly to Hitch, the two covered by a decent-sized shrub upon the hill that he'd been led to. It wasn't long before Sunny zoomed through a nearby cloud, twirling and laughing as she did so. She loved being able to fly. The freedom and the breeze through her wings filled her with euphoria. Hitch could have been watching Sunny mop a floor for all it mattered. He thought that she was gorgeous no matter what she was doing.
Wait for it!
Zip whispered excitedly, barely keeping her hooves still as they watched Sunny. The beautiful orange pony spread her wings wide, flying straight up into a group of clouds almost out of sight. They could vaguely see her dip through a slightly darker cloud, ducking back down and emerging slightly closer to the ground above the hill. She hovered right above where Zip and Hitch were hiding, fluttering her wings slowly, the sunshine radiant behind her. As the sunlight hit her wings, the slight wetness from the darker cloud reflected the light, every feather of her wings shimmering with a touch of rainbow. She laughed to herself with glee, finally grounding herself on the hill and rolling around in the grass. Hitch was awestruck. He'd always thought Sunny was stunning, but seeing how much she enjoyed herself while flying, how at home she looked in the clouds up there, he thought he felt himself fall even deeper for her, if that were possible. Zip popped out of the bush, cheering much to Sunny's surprise.
Hey, way to go! Those wings are so gorgeous when you catch the sun like that. You are an amazing flyer.
Zip praised her alicorn friend, ecstatic that she'd been able to teach her so much and feeling very proud of the natural talent her friend displayed. Sunny blushed, standing up from her spot in the grass awkwardly.
I didn't know that you were watching me.
She laughed nervously, feeling a bit embarrassed. Zip smiled keenly.
Well, I'm not the only one actually,
she confessed, motioning towards the bush on the hill where Hitch had failed to make any appearance yet. Sunny tilted her head.
I don't see any ponytails,
she questioned, confused. Zip rolled her eyes fondly, nearly dragging Hitch out by his tail. He blushed, rubbing his head awkwardly.
Bye, Sunny, that was, great flying,
he said, inwardly kicking himself for being so lame. Sunny gave a cross look towards her Pegasus friend.
Zip, I told you not to distract Hitch from his work. It's really important.
Zip sighed.
I'm pretty sure sitting at a desk and fiddling with pens isn't nearly as important or interesting as getting to watch your flying abilities take shape. Besides, I'm pretty sure you two haven't caught up all that much since I started showing you the Pegasi ropes.
Sunny felt a little guilty. Hitch hadn't said anything about it, but it was true. She had been so busy learning all about flying that she hadn't seen much of her other friends, aside from Zip, for the last while.
Oh, Hitch, I'm so sorry. I really meant to swing by sooner, but I've just been so caught up,
she admitted apologetically, feeling like a bad friend. Hitch shook his head.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I understand how important it is to practice your new abilities,
he assured her, wishing that he would have just said that he missed her, which is what he really wanted to say.
How about we go get some smoothies? Right now?
Sunny suggested.
I mean, I have a bit of work to do back in town,
Hitch mumbled, feeling a bit nervous at the prospect of finally catching up after not seeing each other in quite a bit. Zip gave him a firm bump with her hoof, making a face that suggested that he not screw this up.
Actually, right now sounds great,
he said, as he laughed nervously.
Let's go, Sunny. Zip, you coming too?
He asked. Zip shook her head.
No can do. Sorry. I've gotta go help Pip get ready for a show tonight. You two have fun.
She winked as she dashed off, taking flight before he could protest. Sunny shook her head and laughed.
I wonder if she's ever not busy.
Hitch chuckled, and the two ponies headed back to Main Street, opting to grab smoothies and then sit by the beach together. Sunny sat sipping her drink and staring out into the ocean. It was nice to finally take a break from flying lessons, she thought to herself. She didn't notice the amber pony beside her hardly touching the smoothie and instead opting to stare at the pony beside him, her gorgeous wings shifting slightly with a sea breeze.
Sunny?
He began to speak after some time.
What is it, Hitch? You've barely touched your smoothie.
She pointed out, wondering if maybe he'd picked the wrong flavor or something.
I really miss this.
He confessed.
Being away from you these last few weeks has been harder than I expected. You know, putting up with Sprout and doing all that lame paperwork without you there to keep me smiling, it's just not the same. I know it's really important for Zip to teach you as much as she can, I miss having my little orange deputy around.
He chuckled. Sunny felt a blush rise to her cheeks. She had missed Hitch too, but she wasn't sure how to tell him. She honestly thought that he'd been quite busy as well, or she would have thought about checking in with him much sooner. Go figure that Zip was the first to notice and bring them back together. Sunny knew if she hesitated, she wouldn't do it, so she quickly leaned over and placed a smooch on Hitch's cheek.
I know how you feel. Maybe we should make a little time for each other from now on?
She suggested, hoping that she hadn't freaked him out. Hitch felt 1,000 blossoms bloom in his chest. She just kissed him. Sweet Celestia, he'd been wondering if they could be more than just pals for some time now. But he didn't expect her to be the one to make the first move.
Yes, of course!
He beamed with happiness.
How about we make sure to have a smoothie date at least once a week from now on?
He suggested, not wanting to put too much pressure on the busy mare. Sunny sighed with relief.
That sounds great, actually. I can't wait for the next one. But I just got a text from Zip. Pip is having a meltdown about her dress and they need my help before the evening arrives. I'm so sorry to cut this short.
Hitch didn't mind one bit. He had much to do and think about before their next date. How should he dress? Should he bring flowers? Would he be doing too much? He pondered these things to himself. Sunny could see that he was off in space. She placed a big kiss on his lips before dashing off to go find Zip and Pip.
I'll see you later, Hitch.
If she couldn't keep the smile off of her face for the rest of the night, she was hardly to blame. I'm just saying, I saw this first thing in the morning and I'm just thinking, yeah, I'll probably read this. I'm sorry, to me, it's just hard to resist. Anyways, let's get on to our irresistible donators. Top donators are 630, J10 Man, Only One Thing, Ceru, Orion, and IronSky. Darkside, Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Austin Rolan, Stu Hex, Brother and Mordred, Omicron, Lyrae, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Riot Soul, BadassWaffle, Shadow Moon, Luigi88, and many more awesome people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.